The human brain is one of the most complex organs in our body. When it's functioning correctly, it controls most of our actions. But sometimes the brain doesn't work in the way that it should, which can result in illnesses like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and multiple sclerosis. Scientists at Imperial College London are dissecting donated brains from people who suffered from one of these diseases during their lifetime and comparing them with the brains of those who are unaffected by any neurological disease. They hope to find out more about how these diseases develop.
So looking at the brain is like looking at the scene of a crime. So you can gain valuable clues as to what's going wrong in the disease, why the cells are dying, and then once you know the mechanisms about why the cells are dying, then you can actually design new therapies to prevent these cells from actually dying. So the tissue is essential if we're going to solve diseases like multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease. And really, without donated human tissue, we are not going to cure these diseases. So that's how valuable the tissue is.
When the tissue bank receives the brain, the scientists carefully slice it into sections. First, they look for obvious changes such as tumours, bleeds, and discolorations. They cut freehand with a knife, using guides to ensure the right thickness. When they have laid out the whole brain, they take small samples from 20 different areas and put them in plastic cassettes. These are later embedded in paraffin wax, cut very thinly using a machine, and then stained so that they can be viewed under the microscope for further analysis. The rest is stored until it is needed by other researchers. Although this tissue has enabled a better understanding of diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, the researchers admit that there are limitations to how much information can be gleaned.
The only tissue that we have is at late stage, obviously, because after the patient dies, that's when we get the human tissue, and that's where we can study the disease. So we're sort of looking at all these. By the late stage that we get the tissue, we can see that the neurons have died, but we don't know why or how.
Samples from over 900 brains are stored in these labs, but there is a growing demand from researchers. The World Health Organization has predicted that in another 25 years, there will be almost a doubling of the population that is affected by these diseases. The scientists at the tissue bank hope that the knowledge gained from these samples will aid rapid advances into the cause of neurological diseases and lead to the development of effective drug treatments and prevention techniques. This is Rachael Stubbins for Elements News.